Today I choose to follow you.
Good morning, it's Tuesday the 28th of June and this is Coffee with God. I've poured myself an espresso this morning to get the day going and a nice strong one. Trust you got a decent cup of coffee to start the day. Lots of crema on that one. 2 Timothy 2 from verse 20, Paul's writing to his young apprentice, his young pastor that he's appointed in charge of a church. It's a young man that he had the privilege of leading to the Lord, calls him a son in the faith. And he writes to him about the awesome responsibility that he has to run a church and to lead men in the faith. And listen to what he says to him. Now, in a large house, there are not only gold and silver vessels, but also vessels of wood and of earthenware, and some to honor and some to dishonor. Therefore, if anyone cleanses himself from these things, he will be a vessel for honor, sanctified, useful to the master, prepared for every good work. Now, that's something to aspire to. That's something to think about. That's something to go into every day with, realizing that in your life, there are moments where you choose to either honor God or dishonor God. How you present yourself, how you conduct yourself. You can either conduct yourself in a manner that is honorable and worthy, or in a way that is very plain and common. And it's based on a choice that you make. It's in the same house. It's there. It's at your disposal. You have the right to choose how you present yourself in that moment. And he says here that if anyone cleanses himself from these things, in other words, it's a conscious decision that we need to be making to keep ourselves clean, sanctified, set apart, useful for the master, prepared for every good work. And part of that preparation is knowing that every single day that the Lord gives you to live in, that you have choices that you're going to make, choices that will bring him honor or choices that will bring him dishonor. And make the right choices, cleanse yourself, purify yourselves. How do we do that? Well, I'm glad you asked. Verse 22 says, now flee from youthful lusts. When I read that, I think of Joseph and Potiphar's wife, and she wanted to lay with him, and he realized that he'd been placed in a position of authority by Potiphar. He was placed in a position of trust, placed in a position of responsibility over Potiphar's household, and here his wife wanted to lay with him, and yet he flees, he runs from those youthful lusts, and he leaves his outer garment, his cloak, and runs away. That's a good analogy as to what we're supposed to do when temptation comes across our path. When you're tempted to do the dishonorable, the wrong thing, you know in your heart, you know that you know that you know. But in that moment, the lusts of youth are so strong that you need to flee from them. You need to get up and you need to remove yourself forcibly from those decisions. Flee from youthful lusts and pursue. And when you pursue something, it becomes your sole-fixated purpose. It's something that you fixate on. It's something that you pursue it with everything in you. You're not distracted by other things around you. You pursue righteousness, faith, love, and peace with those who call on the Lord from a pure heart. Can I encourage you in this day? Can I encourage you to find those around you who have a pure heart? You're not alone. Jy's nie alleen in hierdie geesteslewe nie. Daar is ander Christene, daar is mede-gelowiges wat ook regverdigheid en geloof en liefde en vrede najaag. Omring jou. Spandeer tyd met die regte mense. Moenie met die verkeerde mense sit en jou tyd deurbring nie. Want hulle gaan jou verlei, mislei. Spandeer tyd met die wat skoon harte, rein harte het. En laat hulle jou help om in hierdie dag die regte besluite te maak. It's so difficult to always have to make the right choice in a world that is seemingly going in the opposite direction all the time. A world that's trying to get us to make the wrong choices, take the easy way out, do the wrong thing. What does it matter? Everybody's doing it. It's a corrupt society. What's a little bit of more corruption? Don't be the only one that is trying to stand up against this evil tide. The last thing I want to leave you with is you realize that we don't have to work righteousness. Christ is our righteousness. And by faith, we have God's love planted in our hearts. And along with God's grace that we receive in Christ Jesus comes the peace of knowing that we are children of the Most High God. So as you go into this day, look for the opportunities to do the right thing, to be the honorable vessel. Remember, your honorability, your righteousness, your value is determined by that which you pursue. Are you pursuing youthful lusts, or are you fleeing from them? Are you pursuing righteousness, faith, love, and peace? Or are you fleeing from that? You are what you pursue. As you go into today, what are you pursuing? Are you seeking to be a vessel of gold and silver, or of wood and earthenware? Be a vessel of honor. Be a vessel of blessing as you go into this day. And remember, this is ons ding. It's our thing. Do it together with those who have pure hearts. Go and seek to make a difference, be a difference in the world today. Enjoy the rest of your coffee and have a wonderful Tuesday.